Jesus Christ. Fuck driving. I hate it. Not just bad drivers, but driving in general. I'm pretty sure I almost die every time I get into a car. You might be thinking, well, Koth, you're the common denominator in that equation. But here's the thing, I've never been in a wreck. And it doesn't matter who's driving or where I am, people are smashing into each other all around me. Sometimes you have to give people a break. One little lapse in memory or being a little forgetful happens to everyone. But for some people, it's like they have a piece of their brain missing. Let me ask you something. Can you do this? Okay, so why is it so hard for people to hit their fucking turn signals? Are you really that lazy? I guess people would rather be dead. Oh well. The laws aren't helpful either. Check this out. If you're at an intersection trying to turn right and there's a crosswalk, the light to turn right and the sign for pedestrians to cross activate at the same time. How many people have died because of this? And yes, it's the driver's job not to hit into pedestrians. But when you see that green light saying go, your mind says go. One little lapse in thought or a minor distraction and grandma's sprawled out across the asphalt. Here's something that bothers me. People driving 5 miles per hour over the speed limit and treating that like the speed limit. I'm pretty sure that if you were intended to drive 5 miles per hour higher, then it would be listed 5 higher. What really pisses me off is people behind me honking and trying to aggressively pass me when I'm driving the speed limit. What the hell is wrong with people? I've pretty much given up trying to follow road laws and now drive at 5 over most of the time. But people have it in their heads that 5 over is the new speed limit, so they go 10 over and do the same thing. Why is it that no one can handle driving in the snow? As soon as those first snowflakes hit the ground, someone is flipped over in a ditch on fire. You have people going half the speed limit when it's barely snowing, and then other people going 10 over when there's clearly ice on the road. I would kind of understand if I was in an area that rarely got snow, but that's not the case. I live in one of the oldest towns in the US, founded in the 1600s, and it snows every year. People have had 400 years to figure this shit out, and they still can't manage it. There's something about collisions that most people don't seem to realize. It takes 2 people not paying attention to get into one. See this? Yes, this accident is this car's fault for running a red light. However, if this driver would have been paying more attention, he would have seen that this car wasn't going to stop. He could have slowed down just in case it didn't. It's called defensive driving. You should always expect that people don't know what the fuck they're doing or aren't paying attention. Trust me, you'll get in a lot less wrecks. I think one of the reasons why people are so bad and aggressive when they drive is because they feel safe inside their cars. It's like a little metal enclosed space. What they fail to realize is that their car is made out of tinfoil and styrofoam and filled with explosives. Think about that the next time you rocket down the highway at 75 miles an hour. In fact, let's do a little scientific experiment. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Like I said earlier, I've never been in a wreck. However, I have had my car wrecked while it was parked. I was in class and a police officer came in asking for me. My first thought was, oh shit, they found the bodies. But it turns out that another student had smashed into my parked car. And this wasn't just a little scrape. The front end was destroyed. When I park, I always do so way in the back so people are less tempted to crash into me. But I guess that doesn't matter. Luckily, insurance paid for it. And let's talk about insurance for a minute. When the other student plowed into my car, obviously it wasn't my fault, so their insurance had to pay for it, which is the one and only time that I've ever seen anyone's insurance pay for anything. Car insurance is possibly the biggest scam in America. I don't know what it's like in other countries, so let me break it down. When something happens to your car, the other person's insurance pays for it, meaning that if they don't have insurance, or they just drive away after hitting you, you're totally screwed. This happened to me when I was in the army. I was driving behind a truck and it kicked up a rock that destroyed my windshield. I called my insurance and they told me that they weren't going to pay for it because it happened on a military base, which means the military has to pay for it. So, of course, the military wouldn't pay for it, so I was out $300, even though I've paid these assholes $80 a month for the 6 years I've had the car. Now, I've done the math. Every time my car has been damaged, I would have saved money paying for it myself instead of paying for insurance all these years. In fact, even if I added in the cost of every time it's broken down for any reason, needed a tune-up, oil change, or new tires, I still would have saved several $100s paying for it myself instead of paying for insurance. I've overheard conversations with people questioning if they should try to get insurance to pay for things because it would be less expensive in the long run to pay for repairs themselves. Because every time you use your insurance, they jack up the price on top of charging you a deductible. And you have to pay for insurance. It's illegal not to. But fuck it. It's illegal not to pay for health insurance, but I don't have the money for that either. Fuck insurance. That could be another video in itself. Alright, one last thing. While we're on the topic of driving, why do people buy sports cars? I don't know anything about cars, so someone needs to explain this one to me. What the hell is the point? Oh, it goes fast, goes real fast. Yes, but there aren't any roads to take advantage of that. 65 miles per hour is about the fastest you're allowed to drive, anywhere around here at least. As far as I can tell, luxury cars just cost more, require more expensive gas, and have higher insurance costs associated with them. And besides that, luxury cars are cramped as fuck and have no trunk space. They're typically two-seaters, so you can't even drive around with your friends. Both my sister and my father have BMWs, and those pieces of shit break down constantly. When my car breaks down, I can expect to spend about $200 to fix it. When one of those BMWs breaks down, it's more like $1,000. So luxury cars from a utility, cost, and comfort perspective are inferior to buying some cheap Toyota. The only advantage is their speed, I guess, which as I've said, you can't utilize. So what the fuck is the point of buying one? The girls are gonna do sex to me if I have the expensive car. Oh, right. Well, try not to die horribly. I'm Cothrix, and you have a wonderful day. So today I wanted to give a shout out to Platinum Games 22. This is someone I met over PlayStation 4 through mutual friends who recently started a YouTube channel and asked for a shout out. Anyway, he has a few gaming videos up, so go take a look.